welcome to this special episode on how to get into sailing.
Yeah, it's a question we're asked a lot, probably more than any other, and it can be quite difficult if you haven't grown up as a sailor to find a way in. Finding friends that can sail is obviously a very good way, going on courses, or doing what we're doing at the moment, coming on a charter.
Yep, we've partnered with Sunsail, who've invited us to the BVIs to see what it's like to start out sailing here. I hope you like the film. Coming up, finding our own desert island, the perfect place to begin a sailing adventure. Swimming in the reefs, every island has its own unique diving spot. Cooking on the back of the boat, and a real treat, a floating massage parlour built from driftwood. The British Virgin Islands are nestled in the northeast of the Caribbean, and Tortola is the flagship marina for the Sunsail fleet. More than 250 catamarans and monohulls are berthed here, with thousands of holidaymakers arriving every week to set sail. They've got it organised with pre-ordered groceries on board before you arrive, and showers, restaurants and even a supermarket on site for those extras you want to stock up on before you sail. Every boat is checked with you before you leave.
This is shore power.
Yep. Yes.
Right here is where you turn the gas on and off.
Okay. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's on.
Yeah. Should we put the shore power, switch that to shore power then and see if we can...
Well, I think there's a problem with shore power.
And that turns out to be quite important for us.
That's okay.
As with any boat, things do break, and we need to replace the starter battery before we set off. We also have to familiarise ourselves with the setup of the Do 441, which is rather different from our home on Fair Isle. Once the work is done, we have a couple of hours to relax before hitting the bar to meet our long-term sailing friends Paul and Nicole from Sailing Savvy. They're joining us for cocktails and sailing with us for the week. At the end, we'll all share our opinions on whether chartering in the BVIs really is a good way to get into sailing. Attending the skippers meeting is a requirement for any charter. It's a time to ask questions and find the best places to go.
So each one area we will go through bit by bit.
There are over 60 islands in the BVIs. We can't go to them all, but we can stop in some of the recommended anchorages and visit the high spots. Back on board, and we're getting organised.
I'm told you're the queen of sorting things out.
Apparently so, yes.
They don't fall over. So is this going to stay? This is the $3 million question.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is this on a gimbal?
It is.
Yeah,
Okay. I can't actually stop it being gimbal, so that's fine. Whatever it can.
Oh, normally it's this.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It didn't work when I tried it. Did it?
No, there's a hole, but there's no pin. Oh yeah, there is a pin, but the pin's too short.
Yeah.
It's because there's a nylon block that should be there.
There is a nylon block.
Well, no boat is perfect, and anyway, the most important thing is that this region is a great place to sail.
The sailing is brilliant. If you are kind of trying to get into it or you are an already seasoned sailor, I think you have the best of both worlds. Head out in the morning, it's not terribly windy at the start of the day. The wind builds up, you get a little bit of that sea sick. I personally love it whenever it's a bit choppy and it's a bit lumpy bumpy and you're heading through it all. But then you've got also equal days where you're sheltered so nicely by the islands and you've got that nice flat little place to sort of have a leisurely sail and a lovely lunch stop.
Appetites whetted, we get ready to go, and Paul introduces us to the marriage saver technique for leaving the dock.
Like that?
That's right, exactly. You should be able to do
Oh,
it
that's
already.
freaky.
Yeah, so be careful what you say about our abilities when we're on the deplant.
Cool.
So, Captain, where are we going?
We are going to go where the wind takes us, because we're just in a playground here. We've got basically fantastic islands in every direction, so it doesn't matter. So that's why it's so good to be here.
If you're a novice sailor or just a bit rusty, you do have as much help as you need.
including dock staff to helm you out if you prefer. We're testing our new headsets and the marina is nice and spacious, so no worries. It's good to be back on the water. So time to learn the ropes. This Dufil 41 is a very different boat from Fair Isle and to Paul and Nicole's boat, an Yacht XP. But it's simple and it doesn't take too much coaxing to sail well. We definitely find the helm very different, light and skittish. But we've left the marina with several other similar boats. And of course, for Paul and I, that means the race is on.
So you've got me racing?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And there he is. We're ahead and we're pulling away.
Oh well, there you go.
The sails need to be trimmed and the competitiveness is spreading.
Nicole, leech.
On it.
Sort of.
Scared him off. That's it. Giving up.
To give it up.
It's giving up. Tax away.
There you go. And that's all in the first few hours. By lunchtime we spot land. It's never far away, and this is a real find.
Coming behind. Special, isn't it?
Absolutely gorgeous, your own desert island. And look, downwind sailing. Couldn't ask for more, that's lovely. The island is also a great place for pictures, whether for Instagram or your private family album. Sandy Spit is a backdrop to die for. And as we have a bit of time, we make the most of reliving our teenage years. Believe me, this just gets better. See what I mean? It's a long time since we were in our teens, or 20s, or, well... And then we get really carried away. Remember that film? What was it called? 10. The film 10. They should have shot it here. Now back to the sailing, and something we don't do very often, but you do a lot in the BVIs, and that's pick up a buoy. It's pretty easy really, just make sure you come in slowly and get near enough to the buoy without running it over. It's then safe to leave the boat and go on shore. There's nearly always a dinghy dock nearby, and I can pretty much guarantee a beautiful sunset. If you're an early riser, the beach is a perfect place for yoga. A good start to the day, and as the steady trade wind breeze is pretty constant here, we can point the boat at any island we like for our next stop. So we opt for a beam reach on flat water. And tonight we're cooking on board. The stern barbecue is a bit of a surprise, and it works really well. The advantage of a charter boat is that it's built for holiday living, which means there is space in the cockpit for 4 or even 6 people for dinner. And of course, there's that ever-changing view. And talking of food, if you want to eat onshore, Cooper Island is the place for the best fine dining.
Craft beer and a rum bar. Sounds good.
It does. So we're going for Linner. We're having a Linner, which is an in-between lunch and dinner. It's about 4 o'clock. It turns out Linner isn't a thing here, and we have a couple of hours before dinner where we'll eat like normal people. In the meantime, there are plenty of rums to choose from, and we can always play cards, watching the sun go down. And then when dinner is served, it is spectacular. Nicole and I share a lobster, and Paul opts for sirloin steak. It's certainly worth the wait.
So I think you can probably tell from the pictures we did ashore last night, this is an absolutely fabulous place. They've done a great job of just really making it fine dining, really lovely places to go. I mean, I think it's fair to say we haven't had a great experience before in the Caribbean of eating, but it was just equivalent to anywhere in the world. I never thought I'd say that about the Caribbean, but yeah, the food was just world-class quality, fantastic. And this anchorage is great. It's mainly buoys, as you can see. We are actually anchored because, I mean, it is expensive. The meals is expensive and we're saving a little bit of money. Still got the cruiser's mentality of saying, okay, well, we'll save something. It's $50 average for a buoy here. The red ones are boaty buoy. They're the ones that you can book in advance, but there's some that you can just grab at the back there as well if you wanted to do that. But yeah, we're on the anchor, so we're going to get it up. It's not too windy, shouldn't be too difficult. It's quite deep. I mean, we've got 150 foot of chain on here, 50 meters, which is enough because the buoys stop at about 10 meters. So normally you can come or just beyond that, you just have to put all the chain out. So yeah, I'll give Paul a wave. Okay, Paul, we'll get it up.
Dolphins always appear when you least expect them, and they never fail to make my day. We're heading for Cane Garden Bay, known for its long white beach and many, many beach bars, mostly run by local families.
I am swinging, I'm doing my best. It's actually quite wobbly.
Keith has lived here all his life.
So what's the best thing about coming to the BVI's on a boat?
I would say you have an opportunity to have an experience of multiple islands, each with its own unique character.
Yeah.
You also can develop an itinerary, whether it's a week-long or 2-week-long itinerary, where you're not really even seeing the same place again. And literally you can have breakfast in one area, lunch in another, and dinner in another area. Sometimes it's an anchorage on the same island, or sometimes you're going to another island.
And which is your favourite island?
I'm not supposed to say that, but
I'm going to put you on the spot. Which is your favourite island?
Don't tell anybody else. Don't tell
Yeah.
anybody else. I think one of my favorite islands has to be Virgin Gorda.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
It has a really nice natural landscape. Plus, my wife is from Virgin Gorda.
Oh, well, there you go.
So Virgin Gorda is where we'll go next, but not before dropping into the oldest rum distillery in the Caribbean.
This is actually 4 years old into a barrel. So remember how we get the color is the barrels is charcoal from the inside.
So it's just from the barrel itself.
Yeah.
Because there are some very dark and some very light rums, aren't there?
Because this is only 4 years. So this have a whiskey taste. So this is 10 years. So you see the difference?
I see.
Lighter color,
Yeah.
less age. More longer, darker. So this is more like a sipping rum, like a brandy, for no rum and Coca-Cola. This one having sugarcane, this is for lightweights, people who don't drink. If somebody is a drinker, they would not like it.
Is it sweeter?
This is sweeter. So remember, if you use a drinker, you will not like this.
I'll do yours, Steve.
Cheers. Cheers.
So you're supposed to sip it or down it?
Down it.
Shot it. Yeah, that is a mixing
shot it.
rum.
Okay.
Sugar.
It is. That's the one that has the cane still in it. Yeah. And then another wonderful dinner on the beach. The speciality here is jerk chicken. We're now getting to the more touristy part of the BVIs. The baths at Virgin Gorda are a must-see, and if you anchor on this side, you have to be prepared to get wet.
Really good dinghy.
Yeah, we're packing our grab bag here because we are going on a swim in order to get to this island. It's the only way you can get there. You take a dinghy and tie it up and then swim ashore. And they say you have to be quite a good swimmer as well, so...
Don't let the bag drag you down.
Exactly. We make it. Yeah. You don't want to lose the drone. It turns out not to be quite as dramatic as it sounds. The swim is about 400 metres and quite easy in good weather. The drone arrives safely, but we can't use it anyway because there's an airport nearby. We did see the baths, and they are dramatic. Giant granite boulders creating sea caves, grottos and tidal pools. This is part of the national park, and I recommend coming early as it does get crowded.
Not this way. That way. Okay.
That way.
This is a floating spa built of driftwood. It's a legacy of Hurricane Irma, which swept through the BVIs 8 years ago, leaving the islands devastated. Now this new business is booming.
My workplace was destroyed, my home, vehicle and everything. So I decided to do, you know what? I need to follow through. Let me get creative. So I looked around after the hurricane, and there was so much rubble around after the passage of Hurricane Irma. I used that. I used salvage lumber to build it.
There's room for 4 people at a time, and the beds are designed so you can watch the fish at the same time as having the massage. Now, I did hear you were going to do a special scrub.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's going to be shea butter base with oatmeal. And the idea behind it is that you get into the ocean and you just wash it off, but it's really fish food. The oatmeal is fish food. They love it.
So you wash it off and all the fishes come to you?
All the fish will come to you.
By now we're getting the hang of this light boat, which, if we're clever, we can get to sail off the buoy. We have an empty anchorage, wind in the right direction, and we just need to be patient. And maybe a bit of a push. And we're there. Caribbean easy. We're heading for our last stop in the BVIs. Soper's Hole is home to Pusser's Rum and a great place to get the paddleboards out. Now, this is a rare sight in the Caribbean, as anchorages in other regions can be quite choppy. In the BVIs, the bays are beautifully protected. We're now just round the corner from where we started, and as we arrive, the Sunsail dockers are here to greet us. You can dock the boat yourself if you want to, but if you're just getting into sailing, this is a useful service. A pilot on board and another on land. They make it look easy. So thank you very much for coming with us. But the question is, do you think this type of holiday in the BVIs is a good way to get into sailing?
Yes, it is. I think there are two things. First of all, the boat is very easy to sail. It's not Farah, it's not savvy, but it's very easy to sail, and I think that it's a very easy way of people to get into that. And also the BVIs are amazing. The conditions, I don't know what it's always like, but the conditions have been really good this week, and it's just easy to sail. It's beautiful, and that's what you want when you're getting into sailing.
If you're a complete beginner coming out here, is this the sort of boat you think you want to go for? What would you go for?
I do think it works. It's forgiving, it's fairly easy to sail, and what's good about here are your passages are short. You know, an hour and a half. So you get lots of beginning, middle, and end. You don't get lots of.
It's a playground.
Huge,
isn't
it's a playground.
Yeah.
So you've got lots of practicing anchoring. It's fairly forgiving, picking up anchor balls. You can see where you're going typically. If a squall comes in, you're not far away from land and all those things. So I think it's a good place to spend some time sailing, to get used to sailing. Nothing here as well. We've had a bit of breeze and a couple of squalls. There's been no conditions that were scary.
No, you get fairly strong winds, don't you? I mean, but that's a good thing in lots of ways, I think, isn't it? Because you can sort of predict that you're going to get, 15, 20 knots. Yeah. And the boat's not overpowered, is it? It's got quite good sails, sort of small sail sets, so you're not going to overpower it if you get things wrong.
Yeah, we took a few gusts, didn't we? We took a bit of pressure out of the main, but if you weren't aware of that, it wouldn't have knocked the boat flat and thrown everybody everywhere. The boat's very forgiving for a novice sailor that's working out what's going on. Didn't even start to round up or anything like that. So yeah, it's. I would say it's a lovely place to come, and they're good short passages to hone your skills.
And going ashore, was it easy to get ashore, do you think? And would you be encouraged to do so?
Yeah, definitely. If you're prepared for the BVI prices, because restaurants are quite expensive. We've been cruising Greece for years, and Greece is really cheap relative. So that was a little bit of a shock. But the quality of the food's really good. The quality of the supermarket food is very good. That surprised me. So, and there's a lot to do when you're on shore as well. That it's very well set out and thought out as far as
it's catered for these sorts of people, for sort of a high class chartered crew, isn't it?
Definitely.
And there are chartered boats, i.e. big ones, occasionally, but I didn't feel that we were too crowded. I mean, when we went ashore, it was we could do our bit of exploring. You weren't on your own, but you weren't overwhelmed.
Because this is coming up to everyone we've asked. Said it's coming up to a real high season. Next week is probably proper high season. Yeah. And we've always got a mooring ball, haven't we?
very different to parts of the Mediterranean in high season, where if you don't arrive by lunchtime, you've got to find somewhere else.
And what's your favourite place here that you went to?
I enjoyed the Cooper Island. That restaurant there was really lovely. That was beautiful. But the island that we went to,
Sandy Spit, was pretty
that
amazing.
was phenomenal. That was a proper desert island.
The desert islands, yeah.
And our photos were amazing, right?
Those were amazing. The massage
yeah.
at Ocean Spa was
Thanks to Dale.
pretty
Yeah.
top draw.
Yeah.
That was pretty special. So, but there's a lot here to shoot at, isn't there? In a very confined space, you can go to a lot of different places, have a lot of experiences, plenty to keep you going for a week. You're not going to get bored.
It has been a lovely week, and we didn't come to the BVIs when we were here in the Caribbean on Fair Isle, so it's quite a treat.
Yeah, in fact, it's been 30 years since we've been to the BVIs, and on that occasion, it was a bit different. So there wasn't mooring balls in all the bays as there are now, which as a cruiser, you don't want that because you don't want that expense. They can be $50 plus per night, but it does make things easy. So if you're here on a charter, it's all set out for you. Things are very easy. Dinghy docks, everything is here. It's great. Actually,
it is in a different island every night, which is what we did, so you get to see lots of different places. So it's a week holiday, and getting into sailing is perfect.
Yeah, and the boat, I mean, again, in episodes of Sailing Fair Isle, I'm not that kind about these sorts of production boats, but that's because they don't make good cruising boats for long-term passage making, that sort of thing. But for this, for a holiday, it's got the space for, for a week to put your stuff, not to live aboard, it hasn't, but for that, it's great, and big cockpits, and you can have some fun on it, easy to sail, as we were saying earlier. So yeah, it's been great.
And you need some experience before you come here in order to bareboat hire. You need to have had some experience as a skipper, but you don't need a qualification, but you do in other places. Croatia, for instance, and Greece, you do need to have a day skipper. So our next trick is going to be going to Croatia with Sunsail to look at their sailing school.
Yeah, because they do have a sailing school teaching there, and they'll give you the necessary certificates to then be able to bareboat charter and to go on to other things in Europe and other places where you need that certificate. So, and it's always good to have some sort of proper professional tuition. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
So thank you very much to our patrons, thank you to our subscribers, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.